4 years ago today, Rockstar Games released Red Dead Online, which is one of my most favorite multiplayer video game experiences and hands down my favorite open world multiplayer experience. And today on the show, we're going to be taking a look back at everything that makes Red Dead Online such a fantastic game, and also discussing some of the features and elements of Red Dead that I really hope Rockstar carries on to implement into future titles that they put out. And also, we're going to be giving just a brief history of my experience with the game. So welcome back to the channel, everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoy this video at any point, or if you just find it insightful, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, then consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So first off, before we get into everything, of course, I am crushed to see that Red Dead Online is getting less and less attention by Rockstar. This game never got the true love it deserved, and while I found all updates pretty fun in their own unique ways, the DLC experiences since Frontier Pursuits have only been getting smaller and smaller in scope, and with 2022 bringing no such major DLC expansions, just monthly events and updates, bonuses, discounts, free rewards and items, and then we also got some new content in the form of Telegram missions here and there, but nothing like that of the role updates that we've seen in years past. So of course, I'm not happy about that, but that doesn't take away from any of the 3,600 hours I've enjoyed this game on between PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. I can't get this kind of experience with any other game. For those who don't know what I play outside of Red Dead, I've been playing more GTA Online this year, but outside of those two Rockstar games, it's mostly Warzone with the homies at night, and in previous years, it was always COD with some other story-driven games sprinkled in throughout. So between FPS games and an open world, I think I have a nice balance here. But no other open world, and especially multiplayer open world, keeps me quite as engaged as the one that Rockstar built with Red Dead Redemption 2. The original Red Dead Redemption was awesome, and that came out in 2010, and I thought that multiplayer was like the best of all time for open worlds, and compared to some games now, it actually had quite a lot of the things needed for success. It had a great progression system of levels 1 through 50, where along the way you unlock new weapons, playable characters, all from the single player, plus new ones for online. You unlock new horses and mounts as you leveled up, and then when you hit the max rank cap at 50, you could pass into legendary ranks, which was Rockstar's version of a prestige system where all your unlocks would get reset, but now you would be able to carry a new legendary badge and symbol to showcase for your continued dedication to playing Red Dead Redemption multiplayer, plus some extra special unlocks like an exclusive legendary character and legendary mount. The one thing that Red Dead Redemption in 2010 was missing was a deep gameplay loop for its multiplayer. Really, the only things you could do to earn XP was hunt, kill NPCs around the map, farm gang hideouts, or play the PvP, which honestly still slaps to this day. If you haven't tried it, it's incredibly fun. The maps were top tier, same with the game modes and the playlists, those were really active. But that, I feel like, set the groundwork for GTA Online, and now GTA Online set the groundwork for Red Dead Online, which is much more closely comparable with GTA, obviously, where the game is all about playing missions, activities, and other content to earn currency and gold, and then you use that in-game currency to buy any and every single in-game item you want: horses, weapons, camp equipment, roles, ability cards, weapon medals, attachments, the list goes on. And the gameplay loop for unlocking this content is what has me hooked. While it has taken a while to build over time, the way a player can engage with the content is a lot more exciting. It's not a loading screen simulator like I find GTA Online to be. There's actual characters that you approach naturally in the open world to play content from, and it can all be intertwined or as separate as you want. It allows for players to multitask with their character or just chill out and focus on a couple activities individually. Things were not always that way though. The free roam multiplayer was basically not as finely tuned until Frontier Pursuits, which was the biggest DLC expansion this game ever got, which introduced the bounty hunter, collector, and the trader roles. Up until that point, all there was to do in Red Dead Online was hunt animals and sell their pelts and carcasses to the butcher, complete stranger missions, which for the longest time paid out an abysmal amount. I'm talking less than $9 for most missions, and then of course play PvP. The game was also in beta until May 14th, 2019, when RDO originally released November 26th of 2018, so it was out for a long time. And that period of time is something I really don't miss much at all. I do have some fond memories of getting limited stock clothing and enjoying the February 26th, 2019 update, but really there was just not much going on for this game, and I remember even back then that players had a lot of complaints about the game not getting much love and support from the developers, and that still holds true to this day. But then there was a period of time between that May update and then the September Frontier Pursuits update, which I think had everyone in a little bit of a lighter spirit. We knew we had a major expansion that lay ahead, and it seemed awesome, and so we all waited and waited all summer long for it to release. I remember that I was grinding a lot of that Last Stand 24/7 playlist for PvP, which honestly I wish Rockstar would just bring back, because that was such a special part of the game for me and others, and it felt like we were on the up right there. And then when Frontier Pursuits released, the doors just got blown wide open. There was so much more to do, so many new things to try, and so many more and different different ways to play the game. It gives players a real sense of purpose for putting in extended hours of playtime, and I think that sentiment really carried through that fall and into the winter. We received our first Outlaw Pass, we got special and exclusive Halloween content and game modes, Red Dead Redemption 2 released on PC at the beginning of November, furthering the adventures that we were already having on console. We had a Thanksgiving update, which was nothing crazy, but it was still special. And then we got some leaks and intel on the winter update that got us excited, and we knew that that would be coming soon. And then Rockstar eventually gave us a confirmation that it would be the Moonshiner's update. And obviously, the Moonshiner role turned out to be one of players' most favorite roles, and I think to this day, it still remains to be a fantastic role so that you can make some easy and honestly mostly passive money in Red Dead. And this entire period of time between September and December was peak Red Dead Online in my opinion. While the player base experienced content droughts beforehand, and even though the Frontier Pursuit's honeymoon phase wore off, I don't think people really felt super burned out and bored of the game at this time. There just wasn't that sentiment going around, and there was just more and more releasing. Even if it wasn't any major DLC, there was still a lot going on during those few months at the end of 2019. It was not until July of 2020 that we received the Naturalist update, which honestly did add quite a bit of extra dynamics to the free roam because of the different ways that you can mix and match the different roles, but I think the players wanted a lot more, especially after waiting 8 months for a new DLC. Then that Christmas, we got the Bounty Hunter expansion, our first and only role expansion to date, which had some quite enjoyable missions, but again, it didn't change the overall gameplay loop. And then we went through another massive wait until July of 2021, where we got the Blood Money update, players' least favorite Red Dead Online update expansion by far. Despite adding over 40 new missions to the game, it again missed the mark for what players were expecting and for what they wanted. Rockstar teased special robberies for this game, and a whole lot of the missions did actually feature robberies, but half of them were not anything more than stranger mission styled robberies, where you just go here, shoot a bunch of enemies, steal this certain item, leave, and then get paid golden money, which is the stuff you've always been making. The contracts and opportunities, on the other hand, while a little bit more special and exciting and intense, they just didn't have any different rewards besides golden money, and so to most players, and to me as well, it just didn't feel any different than anything else we've received previously. And since then, we've switched from guaranteed weekly updates to monthly events, and then we get some new Telegram missions and seasonal events sprinkled in, but as you can see, we've been on the downward trajectory for a while. And this decline can sound sort of depressing to a day one player, I'm sure, but for a new player, there's nothing to worry about, honestly, as there's still so much to explore and still so much that you can get out of this game. You can get hundreds of hours out of this game without feeling like it's getting repetitive, so don't let this video make you think otherwise. And even for a longtime player like myself and many of you watching, hopefully it doesn't feel like wasted time. It certainly doesn't to me. This game rocks, and I can't get this type of experience from any other multiplayer game out there. It also just makes me excited to see Rockstar's next multiplayer iteration, most notably the next GTA, and hopefully we get a really in-depth open world like always, but with a multiplayer component that allows for that same type of wide breadth and ultra complex depth that Red Dead has. This game will never reach the ultra high expectations that we have, but I don't think it was all in vain. 4 years later, Red Dead Online is still a staple of my rotation of video games that I play consistently. I can't say the same for others. Besides FPS games like Warzone, for example, many single-player games or other different types of multiplayers are types of things that have been there, done that type of experiences. Maybe I'll come back for a few every now and again for a different update for a game like Destiny or The Division or something like that, but only with Rockstar's Red Dead Online do I find myself constantly logging back on for more, even when there's nothing new. That unique charm is something that is an absolute must for Rockstar's next game. And I think with all that said, we're going to be wrapping things up right here. I just wanted to take a brief look back at the history of Red Dead and discuss why this video game is so special to me. Of course, it's made even more special because of all of you still supporting the content that I make around the game as well. Before Red Dead Redemption 2 even released, I knew that I wanted to stick around for the long haul for this game because I love Red Dead Redemption, and I think I've done just that. So thank you for sticking around with me. Hopefully you all enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, then consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask me any questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. With that being said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.